Imagine 4:30 on a Friday afternoon. You are tired and you have a weekend to look forward to. However, you have 2 hours worth of work that your boss wants on his desk at 5 o'clock. You're anxious and you're less productive because you have been worrying about this assignment. You start to sweat and your heart is beating faster. You're extremely worried that you won't finish it and what your boss will have to say about your uncompleted project. It's unrealistic that you will meet the deadline, but what can you do about the possible panic attack that you're going to cause yourself if you do not lower your stress levels? How could you have prevented the situation from happening? By pinpointing your causes of stress and having ways to potentially eliminate them, you will help get you through your work week stress-free. Recently, I was working as an intern in the New York City office for my very first time, and I found that when I got home, I would have headaches, my eyes would be strained after staring at the computer all day, and when I woke up in the morning, I was depressed and anxious about my several hours in the office ahead of me. Doing research to help find ways to eliminate my stress, I found several sources that helped me, which I would like to share with you today. Not everyone's stress triggers are the same, and although many of yours can potentially be linked to your office, some may remain at home. All the tips I give you today, however, can be applied to any aspect of your life, making day-to-day issues easier to deal with and less stressful to take on. Determining what stress is and why we create it is important as knowing what our stresses are and ways to eliminate and maintain them. Hans Selye, a Hungarian endocrinologist, first documented stress in 1936. Referring to the reacting hormone as noxious agents, Selye determined many processes related to distress and eustress, but according to an article by the American Institute of Stress, ultimately defined stress as the non-specific response of the body to any demand. Selye believed that while we are under stress, our bodies are passing through 3 different stages of coping. In an article by Brain Connection, these stages are explained as the alarm reaction, the resistance reaction, and the exhaustion reaction. The alarm reaction is our body's way to prepare for flight or fight, our instant reaction to either attack the stress or to run away from it. The resistance reaction is our adaptation to build a plan to overcome our stress. This stage, depending on the situation, can take a long time, and which leads to the third and final stage, the exhaustion reaction. This is our body's version of aging due to stress. After a prolonged resistance reaction without any progress, the situation eventually wears our bodies and minds down until the stress is too much. In his book, Stress Without Distress, Selye claimed stress is the spice of life. With this statement, he meant that stress is inevitable in life, whether it is distress or eustress, and we are going to have to train ourselves to maintain our distress. However, in order to maintain it, we have to know where our individual stressors originate. In order to do this, think about your daily routine. Are you rushing in the mornings to get ready? Are you taking more breaks than you should be taking during office hours? Are you leaving the office with a list of 20 things to do before you get home and have to take care of your family? Are you finally laying in bed and sleeping only 5 hours before starting all over again the next day? A good way to determine what is causing your stress is to start a daily journal. Write down and reanalyze what in your day is causing problems, and this will help you to determine what stress can be avoided, altered, adapted, or accepted. We call these the 4 A's. It's a technique that I learned to keep in mind from helpguide.org. The 4 A's are techniques to be used during the resistance reaction stage, when your alarm reaction has already responded with fight, and when you want your exhaustion reaction to be as minuscule as possible. So the first solution we have to avoid is stress. Avoiding stress may sound unhealthy, but knowing what stressors are unnecessary can help eliminate smaller problems so that you can focus on the bigger picture. Try saying no. Taking on extra responsibilities because you don't want to be rude can spread you too thin and make it difficult for you to succeed in any one area. Know your limits and stick to them. Prioritize. Many of us think too much about everything we have going on. We do not even try to classify which situations are musts and which ones are shoulds. Drop the shoulds to lower part of your list and find you will no longer be stressing too much over the musts. Avoid people or conversations that make you upset. If there are controversial issues that you find yourself in stressful arguments over regularly, stop talking about them. Eliminate any relationships as well that you feel are too stressful to maintain, and surrounding yourself with a strong support system of people that make you happy will lower your stress. As I mentioned, avoiding stress is not ideal, so if you can confront it, try altering the situation to make it less stressful. Communicate and compromise. Oftentimes our stress is built up because we haven't talked to anyone about the situation. Try making your concerns and feelings clear to those around you, and a compromise could be plausible. Remember, if you are asking this person to understand your situation, you have to attempt to understand their position in the situation as well. Do not procrastinate. Many modern stress occurs because we have not taken the correct amount of time to complete them. Time management and planning ahead go a long way in keeping your stress levels down. The most amazing ability we have today as humans is to adapt, and taking this into consideration with stress can change your entire outlook on it. If a situation or stressor cannot be avoided or altered, adapt your own views. Adjust your standards. Do not set yourself up for failure by demanding perfection. Rather, try your hardest in the time you have and know what is best that you can accomplish. The power of acceptance can be extraordinarily helpful when it comes to stress. There are many things we cannot change, and accepting them as they are can really help you cope with the resulting stress. With these 4 A's, we have a variety of ways to pinpoint and handle our stressors. But what are some temporary physical ways that you can relieve stress while still sitting in your office? Do you control breathing? It sounds simple, but this technique can greatly lower your stress levels while you're sitting at your desk. Listen to music. A great technique if you have a pair of headphones. Just plug into your computer and enjoy either your favorite bands or my favorite, classical Mozart, while working, and notice your stress levels start to melt away. You can take a walk around the office. Sitting all day can put more stress on our backs and necks than we think, and a good 5-minute loop around the office will give you the change of scenery and stretch your head and legs need. Call a friend. Usually a familiar voice is all we need to lift us out of a stressful mood. Take a minute or two to converse with someone who knows you well and listen to whatever problems are stressing you out that day. Stay healthy. Coffee and sugary foods can provide temporary relief, but at the end of the day, they just add to your stressors. Try snacking on an apple, drinking hot tea, or eating a tuna sandwich, which Healthline refers to as brain food due to its high levels in omega-3. Slay claims stress is the spice of life, and therefore we do not live without it. This may seem scary, but as you know, stress comes as distress and eustress, and there's no way around either. By using a stress journal to pinpoint your causes of stress, you can then apply the 4 A's: avoid, alter, adapt, and accept, to determine how to maintain the stressors. Each of these techniques helped me in one way or another to survive my first office internship this past summer, and I hope they will benefit you as well. Thank you.
Good talk.
Any questions?
What office did you work at?
In key resources in New York City.
What did you like the most about it?
Getting up and walking around the office as much as I
Really?
could.
That's what you
Yes.
like?
I had the entire reception area to myself, so
That's nice.
it's nice to walk between the conference rooms.
Nice people?
Yes, nice
Good.
people.
Yeah.
I have a general question, not really on the topic. Can you pick any topic you want to do these presentations?
The
Or you have, like, a list to
requirement
choose
was
from?
it was an informative speech. It had to be facts, not opinionated, not persuasive, or demonstrative. It had to be informative.
I was very informed.